I turned 40 and there were so many things I thought I would have accomplished by this age. But when that milestone actually came, I had to look around and ask myself, like, girl, what really do you have to show for it?
Subscribe channel, subscribe your channel.
We could be everything, anything that we say we could be. We could be everything that we want.
If you're new here, I am for the multi-passionate person who wants to feel seen. If that's not you, thank you for stopping by. However, if that is you, welcome to the group chat. I feel like this video is going to be a letter to the 20-somethings, the 30-somethings, and the 40+ who have lost their way. So what do I have to show for myself at 40? So this is my mom's Mother's Day present, right? She really wanted books, so I'm taking her to Barnes & Noble. The rules are, let's talk about the rules on camera.
Okay.
The rules are, she gets 3 minutes to look and 3 minutes to shop. And I'll buy whatever she puts in her cart.
And I got on my good glasses so I can see into next week in these glasses.
And she was trying to cheat because she was trying to go online and look up books ahead of time. That's cheating. She can't do that.
That's
so
not cheating.
that is cheating.
Okay.
Your 3 minutes are to look.
Okay.
So we're gonna take her in here and we'll see how she does. Once we get to the inside, I'm gonna set the timer.
Okay.
All right. No, you're gonna stand right here. No, you don't. That's the 3 minutes. This is part of your 3 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
Do not go tripping down those stairs.
I'll do my best.
All right, we have the timer. You ready? All right, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, let's see. I had to save myself so she didn't bankrupt me by taking her to one she wasn't familiar with. I ain't never seen her walk this fast. Let's look up the time.
2:17, 15,
Okay.
14.
All right. Let's see how fast she really reads. Is she a speed reader? Let's look at the time. How much more time does she have? Gotcha, you got 1 minute and 25 seconds. Is the time is it gonna make a sound when it goes off? You need to be picking up books and reading bags. You got 30 seconds.
Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna lose.
You're not gonna lose. You still got 3 minutes to shop. 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you stressed?
Yes.
She's still looking. Hold on. Now you get 3 minutes to go pick out your books.
This looked so easy when I saw it online.
Do you know what section you want to be in? I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to see what section you want to be in.
Okay, yeah, I want to be in that section over there.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. She just went, didn't even get it. You have 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Read fast. Talk about not being able to work under pressure. You're down to 2 minutes. Oh, I've seen that book, Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I heard that's a good book. Little does she know, I already set aside a budget for her books, so even if she doesn't end up with the full budget, I'm still gonna let her spend the money, but I like to see her panic a little bit first. 1 minute. You're not reading enough backs of books for me.
I found one of the books I was looking for.
30 seconds.
Don't tell me.
I probably should have given you 5 minutes.
I told you. I deserve at least 5 minutes.
3, 2, 1. I mean, that's the last one in your hand. You better decide if you want it. Did it look good?
That one sounds like it could be promising.
This is what you were. It took you a minute per book.
I was looking for her the whole time.
Let me see what you got here. You do pretty decent. Because I'm a good daughter, I'll let you pick out 2 or 3 more books.
Oh, yay.
A good relationship with my parents. And I know that seems like a small thing to some, but you would not believe the amount of people I know who do not have parents that show up for them, parents that are present, or even parents that are alive, you know? It's something I think we can take for granted, especially if it's something that you've always had. But although a good relationship with my parents, like my mom and my dad, is not something that is 100% on me, when you get into your adult years, you make a choice on if you're going to prioritize family and spending time with them and investing into those relationships, or if you're just going to dip out and do your own thing. I was not an easy child for my parents. Can we just say I was not an easy child? And now that I have kids of my own, I really feel for, you know, the way that I took them through there, okay? But I will say that something I do prioritize, something that I try to always remember, is that my parents are not going to be here forever. So I try to spend as much time as I can with them and try to prioritize that, prioritize being in a position to be able to take care of them if they need me. Like, those are the kind of things that I prioritize. And I feel like being at this age, being at 40, and being able to call my parents up or just drop by their house. I have a key to their house, you know. I could just show up unannounced if I wanted to. But just being able to show up and having the means to show up for them and be there for them and do things for them, I feel like is a really nice accomplishment, because it's definitely something I wanted to be able to do when I got older. Good morning. So I was invited to this event in Houston called Tea Around Town, and what it is a luxury tea tour on a double-decker bus, and there's like entertainment, music, tea, food, that kind of thing. And I was able to do a +1, so I'm bringing my friend with me, and we're gonna go do a tour of Houston. And I think with me being new here, having just moved here not that long ago, this is gonna be such a fun experience, but also kind of enlightening. And I have really been into just like romanticizing everything and trying to be very present in the moment and doing fun, cool, unique things. And I feel like this is it. So I want to say this is probably going to be one of the most whimsical things I've done in Houston since I've gotten here. And I can't wait to take you guys along with me. But first, we have to make some coffee. I know I'll be drinking tea and snacks and all of that stuff later, but I need my morning coffee. And I want to show you guys something. I know I know somebody's gonna say it's extra, but hear me out. I am very particular about the ingredients and the stuff that I eat, and I'm becoming even more increasingly particular. And I just feel like I want to know what's in everything. And I love whipped cream on my coffee, so I got a whipped cream dispenser to make homemade whipped cream. Oh my god, you guys. I made vanilla bean whipped cream yesterday. It's so good. I'm going to show you because I'm putting it on my coffee today. And then we're going to go in the room because I need to get my face together. And I really need to figure out what I'm going to wear. They kind of like want us to dress on theme, but it's not mandatory. And I am not a pastels kind of girl. I wear very saturated colors, jewel tones, bright bold colors, things like that. So I don't really know that I have anything quite on theme for this, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna play around in the closet, see what's in there. But yeah, let's make our coffee first and get started with our day. These are the ingredients for my coffee. You guys know that I do maple syrup as my sweetener, 100% organic. Is this one organic? I don't think this one's organic. Did you know that in order for a brand to be able to call themselves organic, there's like a $200,000 or $300,000 a year fee they have to pay to get that certified organic sticker? That's crazy, because they could be organic and not able to categorize themselves as organic because of that. Wild. Didn't know that, but fun fact. I have whole milk and then my whipped cream dispenser. I'm actually going to link this down below, but pay attention to the description because there is a certain amount of supplies you got to get for this. That's the best way I could say it, because you don't just buy the can. It's involved, okay? But it's not complicated. It's not complicated. All right, you already know what it is. So I'm gonna make the coffee and then I'm gonna show you the whipped cream at the end. I'm so excited to show you guys. It's just the little things that bring joy. First sip. I don't know that I can ever go back. I don't know that I can ever go back. This is such a luxury coffee experience to have every single morning, you know? The coolest thing about this is I can also now make flavored whipped cream. Like, I can't wait. Imagine, because there's a recipe. I use maple sugar to sweeten my whipped cream, but you can also use powdered sugar. And during the holidays, I had a pumpkin spice powdered sugar flavor. Could you imagine making a pumpkin spice whipped cream for your pumpkin spice latte? Stop right now. Stop right now. That's what we're doing. So yeah, maybe I'll make a fun little like blueberry or strawberry flavored whipped cream for, blueberry. Let's do blueberry because I would love to make a blueberry latte. I made a blueberry latte with blueberry milk actually over Mother's Day weekend. It was so fire, but it would have been set off with a blueberry whipped cream, like, period. So yeah, anyways, that is my little morning coffee routine. I have to start getting dressed, so let's go do our makeup, and I have to lotion my body down. Another thing that I realize I have is the gift of opportunity and the blessing of a slow morning. Over the last year, I have been in and out of a phase of like wanting to get to the next thing and trying to appreciate also where I'm at and struggling with the impatience in between. When I was back in California, when we were living in our apartment, all I kept thinking to myself, and I was working a corporate job, I kept thinking to myself, like, my goal was to be able to leave my corporate 9-to-5 and buy a house, right? So we did those things. We moved, I left my corporate 9-to-5 job, we bought a house, we landed here. Like, there was a lot of other things going on. You can go through my vlogs if you want to see more in-depth stories about that. It would be season 2024 in my playlist. But when you accomplish a goal, we all have these things that we feel like, if I just get this, I'll be happy. If I just get this, things will be complete. If I just get this, there's always this finish line, right? But then when you get to that finish line, you don't even enjoy the win. You start thinking about the next finish line. And that could just be me. But I suspect I'm not the only person who thinks that way. And what I've come to realize is there is always going to be another finish line. I really came to a realization when I discovered for myself, first of all, the real luxury. Like, what is real luxury to me? Real luxury to me has nothing to do with material things, but more so to do with time and quality of life. Now, are there certain material things that I invest in that I feel like enhance the quality of my life? Yes, but it is not something that is as simple as, I just want the goal of being able to buy a Birkin. I just want the goal of being able to buy a Chanel. Like, I could care less about those things now. Once upon a time, I did desire those things. I felt like they would make me feel like I had reached a point of success. But then I got to the point where I could buy those things if I wanted to. I could buy whatever I wanted. And what you come to realize is that getting those things really does not hit or feel like what you think it will feel like. It really doesn't, unless your values are sorely misplaced. If your values are sorely misplaced, then maybe you'll feel like something because you have those things. But if your values are where they need to be, you'll get those things and feel nothing. It'll just be another bag to you, another thing. I think that being able to see the world, being able to travel, being able to experience new things, that is something that costs, but it is something that enriches your life and your perspective. I look so tired, and I am. I want to show you guys the skincare that I've been using. So I showed you guys the L'Oreal Revitalift, which I have some of the line right here, but it's the one in the red bottle, right? I recently got the one that is the Age Perfect Cell Renewal, this line in the black box. And I also have this Serum Le Duo. This feels amazing. It feels like luxury skincare, but at such a price that I cannot even believe, because my skin drinks this up. And you guys know I'm starting to get a little bit older. So I have to be a lot more intentional about my skincare, because, you know, I want the skin to stay plump, moist, filled with collagen, you know? And so I decided that I would be trying out like more skincare that's targeted towards more mature skin, because it ain't no time like the present, you know? And I really love this one. So I always start with the Serum Le Duo. I had 2 of these and I gave one to my mom. She loves it. She absolutely loves it. And then I'll put on the eye cream. And this is all what I do under the base of my makeup, because I feel like if you have a good moisturized base, your makeup just lays so much better. But the thing I love about this skincare is, that was so weird. I hope nothing's in there. The thing I love about the skincare is how like thick it feels and how moisturizing, but it doesn't feel greasy. It doesn't feel heavy, you know? It just feels very moisturizing. And the container that holds it, like the packaging, this is like glass. So it feels like luxury skincare, like for real. I just really love this. I've been using this for the last, gosh, we're going on the 3rd week now. And I can really see a difference in my skin. And I know there's a lot of skincare out there and it can be confusing like which one to choose, and a lot of them get really expensive. But even just more than money, you want something that's going to actually work. And I feel like this has done so much for my skin. Why does this keep moving? I hope there's no creature inside my dried arrangement right here, because I done saw these leaves shake twice, and I'm gonna assume it's just because I moved this, you know, branch around in here now. Because if there is a creature in there, I'm not getting it. I ain't getting it. I'm not getting it. So look at that. It's like just so moisturizing. I don't know if you guys can like really see. Gosh, I have some eye bags. My eye bags. But you know what? We have something for that. So they have this thing called Revitalift Eye Bag Instant Eraser right here. And there's this like little tool that you can use. I want to try this under my makeup. I've worn this before when I'm doing like just like a light face, and it says do like half a pea size. And what you're supposed to do is literally just like go like this a few times and then just like let it dry. This is not skincare. It's not something that is designed to stay on your skin. It explicitly states in the instructions to wash it off at the end of the day. So, you know, make sure you wash it off. It's not eye cream. So I just did that, and I'm gonna let it dry and see how it sucks up my eye bags, because they are doing a lot of work today. They real visible because, you know, we tired. So anyways, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. That's the skincare I've been using lately. I really love it. And then I've showed you these before, but this is the lotion I'm about to wear today. I kind of mixed all 3 of them simultaneously, and this is the Athena lotion. I have 3 different scents. This one's Super Pink, Solar Muse, and Love Letter. This one I really love because it smells like vanilla and gardenia to me. Yeah, vanilla and gardenia. If you like vanilla and gardenia, this you're gonna love. Gardenias remind me of my grandmother, so I love anything that's gardenia. And then Love Letter is really cool. This one reminds me of, what does this remind me of? This reminds me of something that would be sold at like Victoria's Secret or even the Pink store. It does have like a soft, fruity, almost gourmand floral though. What is the flavors? Mandarin, island, orchid, vanilla. Yeah, so it is gourmand. But it does have the floral and it does have a hint of like fruitiness. These two together smell amazing. These two together smell amazing. These two together smell amazing. All three together smell amazing. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes what I do is I just don't, go through the line and just do a pump of each or 2 pumps of each, because I find that for my whole entire body to lotion it, 6 pumps total. I know that's strange, but because it's right here, I just kind of count. So I do 2 on each one and lotion up my whole entire body. And today, I love smelling good. So we're gonna do all 3. We're gonna do all 3. And then for my fragrance, which I think is in the dressing room, I'm gonna be doing Valentino Born in Roma, the dark bottle one. I'll show you guys when we get there. But yeah, I'm gonna put on my lotion first and then go do my makeup. I don't know if you guys do this, but I like to do my skincare and anything that I'm gonna put on my face, I do that first. Then I put on my lotion, because I don't want any of like my body lotion to be on my hands mixed with my skincare and then me put it on my face and then I break out, because obviously that's very highly fragranced and most times body lotion is. So I'm very aware and conscious of what I'm putting on my hands when I'm doing my skincare. I love to make sure that my hands are clean and free of any other type of fragrances and lotions when I'm applying my skincare. So I don't know if that's like a no-brainer, but I feel like for me, I've kind of accidentally forgotten that before and I've broken out because of it. So definitely do your skincare first, then your body lotion. I'm about to do my makeup, but I just wanted to show you guys, it's been a few minutes and already you can see my under eyes starting to tighten up. It actually does work, but again, remember to wash it off at the end of the day with your makeup.
All of these iterations of the scripture had already been established. But by the time that Muhammad came on the scene, these scriptures were already sitting in 6 different libraries, spread across 3 different continents, and copied thousands of times by groups of people who didn't even like each other. So if I don't even like you, why would I take your word for it? So if you send me a version, and I'm talking about the Jews, the Coptic Christians, the Ethiopian Christians, the Syrian Christians, the Greek Orthodox Christians, and the Latin Christians, much of whom was beefing. We don't like you, we don't mess with you, you don't mess with us. So for me to take your document and trust it and copy it verbatim lets me know that something had to be true about it.
Come on, bro.
Because if I don't like you, why would I take your word for it?
Yeah.
We don't even oftentimes take the word of people that we do like.
Yeah.
Just because you said it don't mean it's true.
Yeah.
That I would have to have something that grounds me in truth for me to be able to copy that and then now put that into mass production.
Okay, right off the bat, do you see all of this catching? This is from that eye bag eraser that I used. So I don't like it under makeup. I'm about to go wash it off my face and redo my eye cream because that's not it. I have only ever used it without makeup over it. So if it was just like this and I'm doing a makeup free day, I would be okay. This has never happened to me before. So I just wanted to let y'all know I keep it real over here. I just had to redo that. I don't know if I didn't let it dry long enough, but yeah, that was very, very weird. I've never, ever experienced that with that before. I'm going to chalk it up to user error until I can figure it out. Yeah, we're doing the L'Oreal concealer that I always do. I promise you this is not sponsored. L'Oreal has sent me a lot of products and I've tried everything that they've sent me and these just happen to be the ones that are my favorite, that work really, really well, but also they're easily accessible and affordable. L'Oreal gives really, really good luxury quality product but at an affordable price. So that's something that I really, really like. That was the update. I just want to check in. You know, I'm not about to scam you. Let you know what's really tea, what's really going on. I have about like, I would say 45 minutes and I don't like rushing, especially because I don't know what I'm gonna wear. So I'm gonna finish watching church because I didn't get a chance to go to church last Sunday and then today is Sunday again and I'm doing this. and I want to catch up on the messages so I could stay on track, because my pastor has been doing a series. It's called Prove It. Siri, I'm not talking to you. I said series, not Siri. Okay. It's really about how to defend your faith and the historical proof behind it, which I really love, because I feel like I see so much debate online. People really do just be debating semantics for real. I see so much debate online, and it's like, I feel like with anything, especially spiritual things and untangibles, like there is a level of faith required for everything. There's even a level of faith required when it comes to pursuing new ventures, new job opportunities, career, dreams, goals. So it's like, how can you have faith in that, but you can't have faith in the one who created you? You know, it's so interesting because we look so much for a tangible proof, and there's just always a lot of debate and arguing over semantics, when it's like you can only get so far with logic, and then the rest of it you have to take the leap of faith. And that's just really what it is. It would be nice that we can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt, tangibly, here, this is what it is. But sometimes there's just a deeper knowing, and it's backed by faith. I refuse to get in debates with people about my faith, because there's just certain things about it that I have learned through experience. I cannot impart that experience into other people and make them believe what I believe. It's just not how it works, because I didn't come to my faith by being told what to do. I came to my faith through experience and relationship with God and having encounters with God. And I feel like you have to give other people that grace to have an encounter with God themselves, versus trying to force on them what you believe. I feel like there's some patchiness right here. What's going on? Okay. So yeah, I'm not a person who believes in like trying to beat people over the head with my belief system, because no matter what you believe, whether it's what I believe or what you believe or whatever, you better stand 10 toes down in what you believe, because we all give an account at the end for what we believe. So you want to know that you know that you know. You know, you want to have full faith that you felt like you were doing the right thing, because in everything you should be hot or cold, not lukewarm, you know? So anyways, let me finish watching this message. There's like 30 more minutes left on it, and I just feel like I needed to start my day right, you know? Started with a little bit of Jesus. How am I gonna do? Am I gonna do like for real makeup? What should I do? I don't know. Let's see what happens when we get there. All right, I'll see you guys upstairs in the dressing room. Another thing I am learning is self-righteousness is a prison of your own making. Can we say that again? Self-righteousness is a prison of your own making. This is something else I saw in a dream. I saw a prison full of people wearing white. And it was very interesting to me, because I had to think about this. We can sometimes hold ourselves to impossible standards of perfection. And the crazy thing about it is, if perfection was possible, we wouldn't need Christ. So just understand, going into this life, perfection is impossible to achieve. You will never be perfect. The people around you will never be perfect. Stop expecting perfection from people. Stop expecting perfection from yourself. You have to just do your best. You know, they say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. You can have the greatest intentions in the world, the intentions of perfection, but the road to hell is paved with them. However, when you do your best, the thing that you get with doing your best is grace. Doing your best earns you grace. You have to always do your best. Don't worry about perfection. Worry about doing your best. And you have to remember that your best is not the standard for everyone else's best. So don't hold people to the expectation of your best, because everybody's best is different. Okay, let's get into this headpiece. I thrifted this, and I knew there would come an occasion that would be perfect. I feel like this is it. And just so very much on theme. I have my Saint Laurent scarf tied into a top, and I'm gonna lower you guys so you could see the bottom. Lace skirt, Burberry mules, and yeah, that is the look. Let's go. You guys, the little tea was so cute. I got full, okay? Let me give you guys a little bit of a debrief. So when we first got there, we were all kind of like waiting outside till they opened up the double-decker bus we got on. They did have like specific seating for everybody, and all of the treats and everything were already kind of like on the table when you got there, which was really, really cute. And then you could kind of like start eating whenever. Now the only thing is it said there was going to be entertainment. I didn't see any live entertainment, and it was kind of a gloomy day, so I feel like if you're gonna do something like that, I would do it when it's sunny and bright outside, because gloomy is kind of like not really giving. The food was actually decently good. There was only like 2 sandwiches on that platter that we didn't really care for, but the desserts were cool. I have a ton of desserts that I took home because we ate and kind of like got full so fast, so we had a lot left over, and then we got to take home our really cute like little cups, and we actually got 2 apiece because we asked for a full cup of the tea that we like the most, and they just brought us a whole nother cup. So that was actually really cool. And overall, I would say the experience was so like unique and kind of like whimsical. So if that's something that you feel like you would enjoy, you live in the Houston area, you live in LA, you live in Chicago, I think Miami, New York, Atlanta, they have it a lot of different places. You can actually use my code to get discount on your ticket. I'll leave it down in the description box below, but it was like such a cutesy little experience, and I'm glad we got to do it, and me and my friend had a phenomenal time. So yeah, that was like so cute and so fun. I loved it. What am I about to do right now? Now I am about to wash my face off and kind of just like relax for the rest of the night, because I am so tired. And yeah, I kind of want to like do a little bit of work and kind of like chill for the rest of the evening. I could really go for another cup of coffee though, I'll tell you that much, with that whipped cream, because that whipped cream was real good. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just chill for the rest of the night, call it a day, and check in with you guys a little bit later. Time is the one thing that you cannot buy, and yet simultaneously it is the thing that you cannot get back. So being able to have total and complete autonomy of your time, like you get to decide how you spend your time day to day, is a blessing that cannot be bought. It is something that is so invaluable that I think we don't really prioritize it the way that we should, or really understand how much more accomplishable it is than what you would think. I heard this like a little parable of this man giving a speech, and he was talking about a fisherman who spent his time fishing. He would sell a few fish at the market, go home to his family, cook the remaining fish for them, spend time with his friends writing and playing music, spend time with his kids, and get up the very next day and do the same thing. A businessman came along and told him, you know, you can make so much more money if you catch more fish, if you buy a bigger boat, if you do all these things. Just listed all of these things for this man to be able to catch more fish, hire more people to catch more fish, also that he could sell it to have a lot of money and have more money and more. And then at the end of it all, the guy said, well, once I get to that point, then what? And the wealthy man said, well, then you can retire and live your life doing whatever you want to do. Spend time with your family, spend time with your kids, you know, all the things, right? And the man looked at him and said, but I'm already doing that now. Sometimes we drive ourselves mad trying to overwork ourselves to accomplish something we already have, just because society and other people's vision of success tells us that's what success looks like. But the reality of the situation is success can look like whatever is valuable to you and whatever you hold dear. And if that is your family, if that is time with your loved ones and being able to, you know, do whatever you want whenever you want to do it, then, you know, giving up that time to a corporation or to something that you're not passionate about really is a waste. Good morning. So I have a list of tasks that I really need to get done today, things that I've been avoiding, but one of them in particular is I really want to work on some alterations for some items of clothing that I really want to wear for spring, summer. I've just been putting it off, but I have to get all of my like little morning tasks and chores and things like that done in order to feel like I can do it guilt-free, right? But as I was making my bed, I started thinking about the fact that first of all, if you overheat in your sleep or you sweat a lot in your sleep, raise your hand. That's definitely me and my husband for sure. One of the things that I've had to change is the material that my bedding is made out of. So the first thing I did was I went to 100% cotton sheets, and that did help a lot. But I also noticed that the layers of the covers that I had over were also polyester and causing us to overheat as well. So I switched those to 100% cotton. And again, that made another more significant difference. But what really changed the game for me was when I switched to my Quince Bedding, which is this chocolate brown quilt and this burgundy linen sheet set. I actually got the chocolate brown quilt first, and I paid for this with my own money, okay? That's how serious it is for me. The quilt I love because it is a cotton and linen blend. But then after I got the quilt, Quince reached out to me and asked if I wanted to be sent the sheets. And so I got the linen sheets in this color that I've been eyeballing for a year now. Every time I would go to try to get these sheets, the color was sold out. I specifically wanted this burgundy color. And so I was so happy that it came back into stock and I got them. This has changed the game for me. Ever since I've had these two paired together, me and my husband, we do not sweat in our sleep. And that was like a big thing for us. Overheating, sweating in our sleep, being uncomfortable. And when you sweat a lot in your sleep, you kind of wake up a lot through the middle of the night because you're trying to find comfort. I love these sheets and this quilt so much. I cannot even begin to explain to you the difference it has made in my quality of sleep. No lie. Again, like I said, I paid for the quilt myself and I was sent the sheets. Okay, first and foremost, let me just say, when you're getting linen in general, it gets so soft every single time you wash it. It gets softer and softer and softer. The same goes for the sheets. When you first get them, they're gonna feel very stiff, maybe even a little bit itchy, but as soon as you wash them, they're going to soften up immediately. And then every single time after that you wash them, they're going to get softer and softer and softer. And that is what I have found with my Quince bedding. I had 100% cotton quilt on my bed before, and I thought that was great. When I got this Quince one and I felt the quality, there's no comparison. Nothing measures up now that I've had the Quince bedding, and I now understand why people spend such astronomical amounts of money on their bedding. You spend like over 20 years of your life sleeping. I think that was the math. Like, you spend so many hours of your life sleeping or in bed. It is so important for your bedding to be comfortable. The quality of sleep that you get really plays a huge role in your cognitive health and how you move through your day. So it's more than just bedding. It is a lifestyle and quality of life shift that you're making when you prioritize the kind of bedding that you're getting. I'm telling you, as somebody who I really prioritize sleep. I love sleep. I love being in bed. I love my bed to be comfortable, but nothing has changed the game for me more than switching out what my bedding is made out of. The thing I love about Quince is they cut out the middleman. So every single time you purchase from them, you're getting the best price possible. So if you want to have affordable bedding, high quality bedding, but you don't want to pay that high ticket price, go to Quince. Same thing goes for their clothing. Same thing goes for the bags, the shoes. You guys know I love Quince. I have clothing, I have bedding. I'm even wearing my Quince linen shorts right now. Like, I have so much stuff from Quince that I can attest to the fact that they are super, super, super high quality. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's really been amazing for me. Anyways, in the middle of making my bed, and after this, I think I want to make myself some lunch, which isn't going to be much, honestly. I think my lunch is just going to consist of a bagel. And then I do need to do some editing. Hopefully you guys could hear me from way over there. I do need to do some editing because I went on that brand situation for the T-Bus. Is it even called the T-Bus? It's not called the T-Bus. It is called Tea Around Town. and I want to edit that footage for them. So I'll probably end up doing that as well at some point today. It's really just going to be like a lot of editing today. I would love to get around to the alterations. I just don't know if I foresee myself actually doing it, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best. I'm really just trying to do all of those tasks that I don't actually want to do, but I have to do. When it's in the back of my head that I have a lot of stuff to do, it really makes it hard for me to focus and be creative. And there's so many other like fashion videos and things like that that I want to film that I have to get my like tasks done, you know? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll check back in with you guys a little bit later. I don't really know if I'm gonna be filming much today, but I did want to tell you about the bedding, because as I was making my bed, I'm like, you know what, sharing is caring, and I have to tell you guys how amazing this bedding is. Something else really cute that I wanted to show you guys is I was in the garden earlier and I was just cleaning up around my herb bed, and there was so much oregano that has started to flower. So I looked up what I could do with it, and this is what I came up with. I decided to cut all the bundles, and I have 2 right here I've tied with burlap. And when I looked up the flavor profile, when it starts to flower, it has more of a floral, mild taste that is really good for teas. So I'm hanging this here to dry so that once it's dried, I can take the flowers off, which are edible, and the leaves off, and put it in some type of container. But as decor, I feel like it looks so cute. Also, update on the dried roses, which I hung right here. So here's the thing, when you're drying flowers, if you want them to maintain their shape, you have to hang them upside down, which is what I used to do in my apartment. You would see like bundles of roses and things like this everywhere, but this one is almost dry, but it still needs, like, they need a solid, I would say, week or 2 hanging upside down to dry out fully. But you can kind of see the edges are dried, but when you touch them and you squeeze them, they still feel like a little soft. So this is how you know they're not necessarily dried all the way, but look at how it maintains the color. So these are actually going to be the ones that I put in my dried arrangements in the bar, because I'm going to add this color over there. Also, oh, let me show you this too. So this is the arrangement my son got me for Mother's Day that I took it out of. You see these little ones right here? I don't know if you can, yeah, right there. These are actually great for drying out as well. So I am going to, oh, this one's done for. I've never dried out these before. That's probably not gonna work. I'm gonna take those out. But for the most part, the arrangement is starting to die back. I am gonna take these and put them in some of the arrangements, I think, as well. And this is the last thing that's still alive. This is called Astromeria, which I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but I used to work in floral design, and I used to make these really pretty floral arrangements in sponges, which is what this one is in. And you actually water the sponge to keep the plants alive a little bit longer. But yeah, I am actually quite familiar with florals. So yeah, just I used to make the arrangements, not necessarily work with so much dried arrangement making. However, the dried arrangement making experience that I have is from just drying out florals over the years and figuring out what dries really pretty and what does not. So yeah, that's kind of like the little update, but I just kind of keep it here and pluck out the flowers as they die. I do it until they're all done. And then I have this one over here, which my daughter got me. And this one is doing still really well. The water is starting to get really cloudy, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace the water just so it lasts a little bit longer. Something about florals is it's important not to have leaves in the water, otherwise they start to decay and it's gross. And also, quite concerningly, there was like a little fly in there. I don't know where it went, but there was also something else floating around me that I could not identify. I thought it was like a piece of lint at first. Turns out it was not. Now I'm like, what was that? I did not rinse off the oregano, so it's very possible I brought some creatures in, and it's gonna have to be what it is. Good morning. We went to the store. We got a few things, which I showed you, I'm sure, but we're gonna make a blueberry matcha. The canned blueberries I blended them up. I put them in this little bottle. This is going in the fridge because I have this much left from blending up the blueberries. So we're gonna use that. And then we're gonna use this matcha that I was sent from this company. And this is my first time trying it. I'm gonna give you guys my honest thoughts on it, but I had been looking at different matchas online because I was trying to find a really good one. I like a nice, strong matcha. So we're gonna try this matcha, see if it's giving, but also we're taking it to go because my brain is tingling and I have some like little DIY things that I kind of wanna look into. So I'm gonna hit up a couple thrift stores today, maybe even a couple like estate sales, garage sales, to see if I can find what it is that I'm looking for. Let's make this matcha and get out the house, girl, because it's still pretty early and I'm trying to get out before noon. Isn't this such a much better background? Such a much better is not a word. That's a very improper grammar, but isn't this a much better background? I like this one so much better because before it was giving nothing, but I do hate the lighting in here, so we're gonna have to figure that out. I'm about to do the matcha, but I'm doing a short. So I'm gonna insert the short right here, and then I'll come back to you guys when we're about to leave. Okay, when I tell you this is probably the best blueberry matcha I've ever made, and I've tried to make this before, this recipe, this is the one. I'm gonna put it down in the description box, but yeah, this came out phenomenal. I do feel like sometimes we can get impatient when we're in waiting seasons, and I had a moment that came from a dream. Right? I had this dream, and when I woke up from this dream, I thought about it because in the dream I was in a vehicle, and the vehicle was going so fast, and it turned down a road that was still under construction, and because the vehicle was going so fast, it ended up hitting another vehicle in front of it. That vehicle was carrying something that then damaged the vehicle we were in. We had to vacate the vehicle, otherwise our lives would have been in danger. We ended up having to like take an alternate road, you know, or going back to where we started from to wait it out, right? And I thought about it and I was like, okay, that road was under construction. We should have never even been on that road because that road wasn't ready yet. That pathway, that way had not been properly prepared yet. Sometimes we get so impatient, we start going in directions and going down paths that have not been completely prepared for us. You know, the Lord prepares the way. We end up running into all kind of issues and things that we don't even really need to go through if we would just wait for the road to be prepared. However, even more than that, I think about my level of impatience, and then I look around at the beautiful house I am able to live in this beautiful area I'm able to live in, with all of this freedom and time to do whatever I want. I don't have to use my time to make money. I don't. I could spend my time creating art. I could spend my time reading. I could spend my time with my children, with my husband, with my family, going on walks, you know, enriching my mind, healing. This is what I could spend my time doing while I wait for the way to be prepared. And it gets to a point where you have to look around at where you are and think to yourself, wow, what a beautiful place to wait. We are back from our little thrift trip, and I have to say, I feel like I did so well. I was there for a specific mission of certain things for home decor and some things for just a little project. So first things first, I have been getting a lot of questions about my t-shirt poncho. And so I decided to make a few, and this is two of the ones that I made. This one is the Selena one. And I have this one, which is really cool. It is Van Halen. This one is really cool. And I'm not going to keep them. I was so tempted to keep them, but I'm not going to keep them. The way that I kind of foresee myself styling up t-shirt ponchos, because I will be making myself a few more, is I want to do like really cute bandeaus, really cute halter tops and things like that underneath it. And I will show you guys that styling because I have a style video coming up, so stay tuned for that. But if you're watching the vlog right now, these are currently up on my Depop if you guys want them, which means that I probably may or may not have them by the time the styling video happens. But these are really cool and something I will be wearing all summer long because it's just the perfect solution to a problem I never knew I actually had until I had it. So love the t-shirt poncho, and I did thrift the t-shirts today. Something I'm gonna show you guys is a combination of like new and thrifted. So let's go with one of my other thrift finds, which this is so insane. Literally, I cannot believe that I thrifted this. Not from the standpoint of, oh my gosh, I can't believe I found it, but from the standpoint of I never thought I would be into it again, but I am. I found this really cool Dooney & Burke little handle bag, and I'm gonna pimp this out. And what I mean by pimp it out is I'm going to add a little scarf on the handle, add some bag charms, and like really just bring the Dooney & Burke bag. Dooney & Burke has such amazing high quality leather and craftsmanship that I don't really even know why it ever went out of style. I'm gonna say probably because they need a new creative director, similar to like how Coach did. They do currently have one bag on their website that is trending and kind of going a little bit viral, but there is another one I saw in my Vogue magazine that I was like, oh my gosh, like I think I need that. And we'll get to that if I can find it because I have some other things I want to show you. But I plan on fully putting a little hand scarf, not hands, what am I talking about? A little twilly type scarf on it and some bag charms, and really just, you know, making it fun. I think this is so cute and obviously extremely durable. This was a cute little thrift find. Another bag that I found is so cool because it's such a trending style of bag. I'm really surprised I saw it. This Kate Spade bag. It's obviously real leather, gold fixtures, and I love this east-west style. And it's in such a cool neutral color. I know I'm gonna be wearing this a lot in the spring, summer, and even the fall. It is a lot of space on the inside, and I just think this is so cute. I love the bag. I don't typically go for Kate Spade bags, to be honest, but this one I liked because the branding was very like minimal on it. It didn't have the typical Kate Spade branding on it. It's just a little embossing right here, but just a really good quality leather bag. and I just really love it. I think it's super cute, so I will definitely be styling this up for you guys. 2 bags in the thrift trip, you know, and I do have a million bags, so I really didn't need another bag, but those were like no-brainers to me. Now I'm gonna do a couple home decor things, and then we're gonna flip back to clothing items. But when I saw these bookends that are wood and they're horses, this immediately reminded me of Ralph Lauren Home, the whole equestrian vibe. And it does have some damage on the ears, but I don't mind because I feel like that just really adds to the character. These are solid wood, and I just feel like this is gonna look really nice somewhere in my house. This is actually the exact shade of wood of my paneling and stuff like that. Now, am I gonna keep it this color? I am still debating, but I do really feel like I am gonna end up keeping them this color. I'm very curious if this is a particular brand, because I didn't even try to Google it or look it up. I just saw the horses and I was like, oh, that's amazing. So got those. And then this is something that was on my Pinterest board, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really need to look for some stuff like this in the thrift. I didn't actually think I would find not 1 but 2 of them, and it is these little wicker trays. This one is really cool because it's like very solid and really made well. $19.99. I did ask the manager for a discount, and I did end up getting a discount on it. So that's my tip. If you're in the thrift, all they can do is say no, but I do tend to, if I feel like something is kind of overpriced, I will ask for a discount. And then I saw this one, which is even larger, and I thought this was really cute. My initial reason for wanting something like this was for my kitchen, to kind of keep things in the same area. I had some Pinterest inspo that I saw that was really cute, and I was like, okay, I like that. I think that'll go in my kitchen. I found 2. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the other one, because technically you could also use them as like little trays and things like that for your couch or whatever. So I have both of them. Those typically, depending on where you get them, can be kind of pricey, so I was very happy to find those. Same thrift store, I also found this belt by Nakona, which, if you don't know, is a really cool Western brand, typically kind of expensive, but I just loved, you guys know how I am about a belt with some embellishment. It is one of the main things I look for in the thrift, which is why my belt collection is so extensive. And it's chocolate brown with silver, and I just think it's so cute. It is an XL, I believe. Yes, it is an XL. So it actually fits me lower on the waist, but I love that because in my last styling video, you saw me styling these like low-waisted skirts and things like that. And I think some of my lower-waisted skirts like that are silk and kind of maxi or whatever, these kind of belts I feel like could go really well with them. I also think that this belt could layer really well with my other belt that I got from the Thrift Con. Where is that belt, by the way? Hold on. All right, I got a little concerned for a moment because I'm like, where is the belt? But if you guys are not familiar, maybe this is your first video or you missed that vlog, this is a belt that I got from Thrift Con that has these little, I don't know, medallions, I guess you would call them, all over it. I just feel like these layered together could be such a vibe, giving very much Schiaparelli. And while I was in there, this is something I've been meaning to pull out, and I really am gonna do a better job of styling my things, but I've had this for years, okay? Years. And I keep forgetting to style it. It's this little belt right here, and this is actually a Fendi belt. This is a Fendi belt when they did that utilitarian line. I even still have the tag in here. Look at that. $1,690 for a belt. Ridiculous, but it is a really good quality belt. It is all silver, but I can again do a situation where I actually totally could see myself doing this, doing a layered situation. But yeah, just like some fun. I like layering belts, so I'm keeping this out in my mind's eye so I can see it. And then there is something else that I did get at another thrift store, which I want to show you, but I need to get a little piece so I can show you the vision. Okay, do not let me forget, I pulled this from a belt over there. I want you to tell me in the comments, say, Jillian, remember to put that belt loop back. Okay, remember. So I saw this in this particular thrift store. They have a whole entire section that just has trims and things like that for crafts and whatnot. And I saw this bag with this trim in it, and I got it because it was reminding me of the Bal Mas Spring Summer show. And it is these curtain ties. Do you see this? Like, I feel like this is so cute, and I could definitely see myself like turning it into a belt or something like that. But the reason I got this little ring tie is because I was playing around with this and I'm like, you know what, this would be fire. I put the little D ring, I guess you could call this like a circle ring because it's not shaped like a D. But could you imagine turning this into just a big chunky necklace? I know it's hard to see because my shirt is white, but that is so cute. I fully plan on wearing this like a necklace. I just need to go to Hobby Lobby or something and get more of these rings right here. But this is so cute. I could even see myself kind of lacing them through and creating a belt. So I loved that. I thought that was a really fun, nice little innovative way to create a vibe. And then also this, I feel like could be really cool if I tie them the right way, just styling with my scarves and turning them into tops. I'm so sorry if it's getting dim, y'all. It is the evening, but I'm trying to show you guys this before I forget. So as a matter of fact, no, I'm gonna just leave it right here. Like, I'll know it's here, right? You guys will remind me. If I ever say I'm looking for it, you guys are gonna slide in the comments and remind me, okay? Another thing that I got was I saw 2 bags of the trims. I did not realize this one was so big. Otherwise I would not have gotten it. So I'm gonna have to figure out what else I'm gonna do, but look at how massive that one is. Could you imagine me trying to, you know what, period, stop playing with me. I will make a necklace and wear it. That could be really cool, actually. Okay, I have 2 more things to show you from the thrift store. This is one of those things that I just find so incredibly cool. So it even has the original price tag on it, dead stock new with tags, Henry Bendel. This scarf was originally $128. I'm gonna back up so you can see it, but what really sold me on this was the graphic. I think it is so fire. Look at that, can you see? I think it is so cute. Now, I wouldn't have got it if I didn't see good representation, but we got our black girl right there. Definitely will be styling this up. I think this styled as a top would be so dope, just because I love the red, I love the polka dot. It's so colorful, and low-key this goes with my next thrift find, which is this one right here. Okay, so the reason I got this, okay, I got this because I saw it and immediately thought Pleats Please by Issey Miyake. You see, this is giving Issey Miyake so bad. It's getting warm, but we still have those cool days. But can you imagine like the vibe? I'm gonna, hold up, let's zip it up a little bit so you can see what I'm saying. Again, don't worry, I will be having a styling video. Now I will have to like belt it or do something to pull this off, because I would want it to do something like this, wear balloons, because it really just goes like this. But even then, I'm not mad at this at all. It's definitely giving all the colors. This is the epitome of the colors I like. These are the type of colors I buy. I'm not a pastels person. I don't do a lot of pale pinks and purples and yellows and things like that. I like bright, bold, vibrant colors. It just does something for me. It's really telling. And of course I do like a good black. I love good brown, chocolate brown, neutral, whatever. But yeah, so that was the stuff that I got from the thrift store. Now new stuff, which again, you guys will be seeing this in a upcoming styling video. I had my poncho, let me show you as an example with this, my t-shirt poncho, and I made them so that they go off the shoulder. But again, remember, it's open on the side. So you see how this one has like red in it? This would look so fire, okay, with a halter like this. So I have this thin strapped halter made out of amazing material. I was so concerned. Now that I'm touching it, I wish it came in more colors. But this as the top, and then off the shoulder you can kind of see the halter situation right here. I'll link these in the description box, but these are amazing, and they were such a good price. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe the price. Literally, I'm going to go buy the remaining like 2 other colors that I didn't get, because I got 3 out of the 4 or 5 colors that were there. But I could even imagine that like with this Selena one. I do have it in white as well. The white one is due to be delivered any second now. And then I also got it in black. But could you imagine this one with the white? Oh, that would look so cute. I love it. So that's kind of my vibe for spring, summer. I just feel like, first of all, this is one of those things that if you want a little something over your shoulders, because it's like a little bit of a breeze, but it's still kind of warm, these are perfect. I will definitely be making myself many more of those. It's just really about finding the perfect cool t-shirt. But yeah, I got these in 3 of the colors. I believe there was only 5 colors. There might have even been only 4. I know they had a chocolate brown, which I'm gonna definitely expeditiously go back and get. I really wish they had this in like that chartreuse green that I really love, or like even a vibrant dark purple, because dark purple, like dark green, blue, like these are, I love jewel tones. They're my favorite colors. Another thing that I got were these. I am literally reliving my high school days with these, but I want something really fun and easy that'll go with a lot of my outfits that I could run around town in. I'm not worried about messing them up because they're expensive, because I do have 2 pairs of flip-flops by Caperni that are shaped like this, but those are expensive obviously. So this is real easy. If I mess these up, you know, all's well that ends well. It'll be okay. I'll link these down below. They were very affordable. And then these have been like the hero piece, which are my clear flip-flop jellies. When I tell you these are so comfortable, they're so bendable. This part between my toes doesn't hurt. It literally just feels like my feet just kind of sink into them. I could literally put on any outfit and put these on and it goes, because they're clear. If you want a really versatile shoe for the summer, this right here, this is what you want. That's my little haul. And then when I went to the bookstore with my mom, I did get some magazines, and I finally joined the Barnes & Noble book club because I spent too much money to not. And part of being in that book club was getting this like little tote bag, which is made out of a thick canvas. It's made really well, and I even love the fact that it has a pocket on the inside that I have my AirPods in. I literally carried this all day today because I needed to carry this bag, and all I had with me was this bag, which would not fit. I just literally had this in here together like this, and this was my bag for the day. But when we were there, the magazines that I got, first of all, I do have a subscription to Vogue. So this is the one that was for this month with Meryl Streep, Anna Wintour in it. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I typically go through my magazines at least, oh, here we go. I go through my magazines at least 4 to 5 times before I call it square. But I just came across the Dooney and Burke bag that I'm loving. Similar. So they have a bucket version of this bag, which is so cute. You know I love a bucket. Actually, is that redundant? Hold on, let me show you guys something. I think I just immediately talked myself out of it. And this is why it's important to go inside your closet and know what's in there. Who remembers this bag? This is literally like the same style of the Dooney and Burke bag. I think I may have worn it once. It still looks brand new. It's suede and real leather. But yeah, Dooney and Burke has a real, like a all leather, not suede version in this color that I was like, ooh, I think I want that. I don't know, maybe not no more, because is that a little bit redundant? And then I always love to try to find the accessories collections or any of the whole like spring, summer, or fall, winter collections magazine, because it always has all of the collections with a lot of the designers. And this one has a lot of designers that I didn't even see their runway show, but it's in here, and it's just literally nothing but accessories. I love this. Is for spring, summer 2026. I need to find the other collections one like this, so I'm gonna have to go to a couple different stores. And then I did get the Architectural Digest. I think this is the next subscription I'm gonna get, because I almost got it when I did my Vogue one, but I was like, oh, you know, I'll wait and see. But I actually really like the Architectural Digest, so I think I'm gonna just go ahead and pull the trigger and do it. I really want to revive physical media again. It's like we don't use it like we should. It's these damn phones, I'm telling you, like we just be on the phone. No, I want a magazine. I want to flip the pages. I want to lick it and just, you know. At Barnes & Noble specifically, I don't know about any other bookstore, they have these like value packs that you can get where it comes with multiple magazines in it. So this one is It comes with 3 magazines in it. It always comes with a Elle Decor. It comes with Veranda magazine. And then it comes with House Beautiful. And these are all home decor magazines. And it's, to me, like such a no-brainer. 3 for the price of 1, especially with like home decor. And they just have like really cool things in it. Like, look at that tray. Like, I've been seeing these wicker trays all over my home decor magazines. And I'm like, I just really love that vibe. And when I see them, I try to like grab them, but I've been getting so much inspo. This is literally a table that I want for my living room or my bedroom. Do you see this checkerboard table right here? It's a game table, and typically you can have like the chess pieces or the checkerboard pieces on it. I guess it's called a games table. That's what it says right here. I'm looking for a vintage games table, either round or square, to go between the 2 chairs in my master bedroom. That's really why that space has stayed empty, because that's what I'm on the hunt for. You know, fingers crossed that I actually eventually find my way to it. Yeah, I just really love looking through these magazines. They're so cool. There's just so many different things. If you guys like home decor magazines too, then definitely go in there. They sell them in a pack. Another one that I always get, which I probably will go run and get tomorrow because I didn't get it that day, but there's another magazine I get that comes with the art newspaper with it. It always comes together, which is why I have that collection of art newspapers that I keep in my living room downstairs. I always get that magazine, and I always keep the art newspaper out because I just think it's so cool. It's, again, it feels like getting 2 things for the price of 1. So yeah, that's what I got. This was my little magazine haul for the month. I am going to go to this other store. There's another store out here in Houston, and I cannot remember what it's called, but they literally have like every coffee table book you can think of, and it's gigantic. There's also this other place out here that literally you need a map to go through it, but it's like all home decor, fragrances and perfumes and candles and toothpaste. It's like gigantic. Like, you cannot do the whole store in a day, and you're handed a map when you go in to like navigate around. So I really have to make my way there. I'll be doing that soon because I want to pick back up on some home decor projects. I also have another major home decor thing I think coming for the backyard. I know we just did it and it was supposed to be done, but unexpectedly I got this amazing opportunity to have the thing that I always wanted out there. I'm gonna do a little switcheroo around, and we're going to just give it a little bit of a facelift. So that'll be its own dedicated video, assuming all of that works out. So we'll see. I got this from Mango, and it is this chocolate brown suede with studs. This is my computer case. It holds my computer. Ooh. It holds my computer and it holds my iPad. So I keep my iPad right here. My laptop is right here. And then I just keep my Apple Pencil at the top. But I love this because it's so cute and fashionable. I kind of like stick it in whatever tote bag I'm carrying if I'm gonna go try to like do work outside of the house. And to be quite honest, it would even fit perfectly in this bag right here. I'm really about to be wearing that Barnes & Noble bag. Y'all think I'm playing. Very happy with everything though, but I'll leave everything linked that I can link down below, including the link to my Depop for whoever wants to beat the crowd to these. I will be making more of these, okay? I have some ideas for adding embellishments and different things. I have some, you know, the brain just always be working. Stay tuned. But these will be on my Depop. They'll be up, and hopefully you get to them first come first serve. I'm about to make myself a cocktail, I'm not gonna lie. I really have been on this whole like I don't really want to drink a lot kick, and I didn't have alcohol for like a whole month, and it wasn't even hard, to be honest with you. I really want a whiskey. More specifically, my favorite whiskey is the Screwball peanut butter whiskey, and I always pour a little bit of the cherry juice in it and drop a few cherries in it and a nice big ice cube, and that's it. And that is my cocktail for the night. So I think that's what I want to do. I'm gonna also make some chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, it's so unhealthy, you know, but I would rather have the very, very unhealthy thing than have the healthier version, because if you're gonna do it, you might as well just do it all the way. The healthy version of something is not really as healthy as you think. Either eat completely healthy or eat completely crap. It's balance, you know, balance. Good night. Waiting isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes where you're waiting is beautiful, but because you're in such a rush, to get to the next thing, you don't even realize how beautiful your wait is. The scripture says, he maketh me to lie down in green pastures. My pastures are very green right now, and yet I'm trying to run through them instead of sitting down and laying down and resting and enjoying the view, enjoying the time that I have right now to not be on someone else's schedule. It is such a blessing. And to be 40, only 40, which is not that old, to be only 40 and have that kind of freedom with my time is such a blessing. Something else I'm realizing is really, really important is knowing where to invest time, money, all the things, but more specifically, your time, your efforts, your energy. I don't make deposits where I can't also make withdrawals. And that is the most important thing you could probably ever learn, okay? There is a time cost to everything, and time is expensive. You'll find that there are people who only want you around because it does something for their ego. They like the way you make them feel, so therefore they want to keep you around. They don't keep you around because they have any intention of investing into you. They want to invest into you because of what they feel like they can get back from it, or what they feel like you can do for them, whether that be emotionally, psychologically, mentally, whatever. Sometimes people will only invest because they want the return. And for me, I am not into transactional relationships. I understand that where you invest, you have to be able to withdraw. However, I don't want it to be something that's purely transactional. I want to invest in things that I care about, because I may not always need to withdraw. I might be fine. I might be investing, and I might be at a place where I don't need to withdraw. However, should a time come that I absolutely need to, I want it to be there. And I don't want to invest in people that do not pour back into me. You have to know where to draw the line, right? This is something that God brought to me in yet another dream. When I woke up, I was looking at that dream, and I was looking at the root word, the etymology of the word arrange, because I have been told in the dream to arrange some things, right? And the root word of arrange is actually to draw a line, to organize by rank. That is the etymology of the word arrange. And what I realized is that God was telling me that it gets to a point where you have to draw a line and rank things by importance. And that is called boundaries. It's called boundaries. So you have to know where to draw a line. You have to know where to set boundaries, and you have to learn to recognize the people who celebrate you. I'm getting dressed because my friend is getting engaged today, and I'm helping her fiance kind of like set up and propose to her, and I'm going to film the whole thing. So I have to figure out what to wear, which is going to be a little bit tricky because it's that time of the month for me. And obviously, because I am getting a little bit older, things have become quite unpredictable. So I need to try to wear something that gives me flexibility. You know, what I initially planned on wearing, I cannot wear. I would ideally like to wear pants, something dark. And it is storming. It is storming, you guys. Like, so bad. Our power went out like 4 times last night. Only for a few minutes, but it's storming. So I don't want to have on anything that is going to get ruined if it gets wet, you know? Other caveat here is that it's also 80 degrees. So unlike California, where it could be raining but it's freezing so you could bundle up, here it's still hot. So I need to find something that takes that into account as well. Kind of would love to wear this corset, maybe with the blazer. At the same time, I want to wear something that's easy for me to move around, because I really want to be able to get all the angles without feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't bend down like that, or I can't crouch down like that. Like, I'm trying to get all the angles for my girl, you know? But I'm gonna have to dress up, but not like in a skirt or a dress or anything like that, because I just cannot do it. I have to be comfortable, and I have to get the shot for her. I think I'm gonna wear all black, low-key, not gonna lie. I think it's gonna be an all black kind of situation. So I have a couple options. I can do this sheer number because then I can wear bike shorts and a black tank top and give the illusion of dress but have all of my goods and business covered up. And then I can wear my over the knee Dior maroon boots. I think that's kind of like the direction I want to go. So let me find some undergarments for this. I'm gonna get dressed and then I'll show you guys the outfit. Okay, this is gonna have to be the final look. I have on my black chain boots, sheer top, vintage gold. It's like suede and leather. Is that asking for it in the rain? Possibly, but I am gonna have an umbrella. I just really like the design detail in the back. Gold Fendi Spy, large, because I have a lot of stuff I need to carry, and plus I think the gold obviously goes with the gold. It's giving very much black and gold. So this is the look. See you guys maybe tomorrow. I don't think I'm coming back today.
The people who do call you and say, you know, happy birthday, or I noticed you had this win, congratulations, or, you know, I recognize you've been doing amazing lately, I love that for you. Recognize the people who celebrate wins with you, because that's so important. Now, you don't want to only have people, again, this goes back to the first point of people who invest in you because they want something out of it. You know, those people can also look like they're celebrating wins with you, but you know when it's genuine. The types of wins that you have that cannot benefit anybody else, but you have those people that are calling to celebrate those wins with you, those are the people that are important to have in your life, not the ones who only celebrate the wins they feel like can benefit them. You know, you also have to be in such a healed place that you understand when to pour into others. Everyone won't always be in a place to show up for you because they're going through something, and that's okay. Everybody is carrying their own battle wounds, right?
But I think
So, Annette and Z, I want to say congratulations to you guys. Z, I want to tell you,
worth the wait.
Annette, she is amazing, and I see the love that you showed over for her all these years. I'm just so happy for you guys. Nobody deserves it more. I know that you guys are going to have an amazing life together, and I'm wishing you all of the love, all of the joy, all of the happiness. I cannot wait to see you guys become one. I love you so much.
You don't ever want to be the type of person who shows up for people, extends yourself for people, go above and beyond for people because you expect something in return,
Or because it fuels your self-worth. That is the wrong intentions for wanting to show up and help people, because that's when you lean into that people-pleasing territory. You're using helping somebody as a way to fuel your self-worth. You're using showing up for somebody as a way to fuel your self-worth. You have to show up for people simply because you can. So when I look around at my life at 40 and I think of the things that I thought might be, or I think of the things that I wanted to accomplish, and, you know, all the things, I realized that there were some impossible expectations I was holding myself to. I realized the things that I thought would be important to me are not important to me anymore. And I realized the things that I did because I was fueling my self-worth are not the things that I should be doing. And I feel like at 40, I am a much better, much healed version of myself, and that is exactly what I have to show for it. I have to show for it the fact that I'm alive. And the thing about being alive, the thing about still being here, is that if you are still here, there's still work for you to do. If you are still here, there's still growing, there's still improvement, there is still lessons and things that need to be learned, because if you had reached it, if you had reached that finish, baby, you would not be here. That would be the end of your life, because then what is the point, you know? So understand that if you are still breathing, if you are still alive, if you are still waking up, that means that there is still something the world needs from you. There is still some gift that is in you that the world needs. If you're here, you hold an answer that is a solution to a problem in the world. You hold a gift that is needed to be given for something in the world. You are here for a purpose. And as long as we're here, we're not going to be perfect. So release yourselves from the shackles of perfection and this invisible timeline and this invisible finish line that perpetually moves. Don't do that to yourself. Live your life, do your best, and stop measuring yourself according to other people's expectations, and give yourself some grace. I don't know. I thought I would feel different at 40, and I do. But at the same time, baby, I still feel like I'm 26. So, yeah. I think that if you're in your 20s, 40 is, it feels like it's a long way off, but baby, it's gonna pass by. If you are in your 30s, 40 is around the corner, but there's still so much more life that can be lived if you're blessed to be given that time. And if you're in your 40s or over and you feel like life is over or you've lost your way, it's okay. We all lose our way at some point, but you need to dig deep and rediscover who you are, rediscover what makes you happy, the things that bring you joy, and work on that, because it's never too late to change your mind. And I do want to also say, can we normalize changing our mind? It is okay to change your mind. It is okay to get new information and think to yourself, you know what? This information has changed my mind. That is exactly what repentance is. It is to change your mind. It takes true knowledge and wisdom to change your mind. You cannot be told to change your mind. You cannot be convinced to change your mind. It is the true revelation. It's revelation of the truth, knowledge, and wisdom that has the power to change your mind. So if you come into new wisdom, revelation, you come to some truth, it is okay to change your mind. Nobody's gonna do something to you because you changed your mind. We are all given the free will and the right to change our mind. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful for you. It was a little bit different than what I typically do, but I just felt like it was so necessary because there's so many things going on in the world, and I just feel like people are not talking about enough of the things that are important. So throwing my hat into the ring, and I hope that it resonates. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah! Bye. For the people who are still here, the inner circle, leave a comment down below if you made it this far. Tell me one of your most impactful lessons in the comments, each one to each one. And I just want to show you guys, do you see this bin of clothes? Yeah, I just pajamas, that's how we did this. I just pulled this from the garage, and what I want to do is I want to do a video next going through all of this and showing you guys how everything looks, what we're gonna keep, what we might get rid of, because these are the things I think I'm gonna keep. I think I'm gonna keep them. I already have a whole entire bin of get rid ofs in the garage, but some of this stuff in here I really needed to try on, and some of it I forgot I had, y'all. So I really don't think I need to shop for the summer for too much, because it's all right there. Goodbye for real this time.